Hey everybody, so I'm out in rural Alberta again, taking a young man back from treatment. He graduated or marbled out, and I picked him up at Oskaya Centre in Frog Lake. That's how you pronounce it. And it's a land-based program, and he really did well. It was a 3-month program, and I remember dropping him off 3 months ago, and today I'm taking him back. And see, he's got some sage with him. I don't know if you can see it. Sweetgrass in there and an eagle feather. I don't want to touch it without his permission of that. But anyways, it's really cool. And you look at this. I picked him up from the Edmonton Remand Centre, and it costs on average between $700 to $800 a day per inmate. And there's about 1,600 inmates at the Edmonton Remand Centre. So yeah, there is a need for the Remand Centre, unfortunately, and there will always be a need for the Remand Centre. But for people like this young man who's just turned 18, he's in custody for non-violent offense, I think it's important to find alternatives. So we took him to this treatment program, 3 months course, and now I'm driving him to a sober living house. At a real fraction of cost. So if you can change people's trajectories and get them into treatment, I think there's a lot more benefit, not only to the young person and their family, but also the community and the taxpayer. So it's a win-win-win-win situation. Can't argue with that. And, you know, I think these kind of programs, treatment programs, voluntary treatment programs, are well worth being funded, and we should expand this model. And in my opinion, looking at these confinement, these addictions confinement centers, or these friendly jails, where they're going to spend $180 million over 3 years on, that's not the way to do it. But places like programs like they have at Frog Lake or at Bonnyville or Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, those kind of treatment centers, that's the way to do it. And if we can invest money into those programs and reduce the waiting lists, because actually the waiting list at Henwood, for example, is 10 weeks. 10 weeks. You put in your application, you got to wait at least 10 weeks. And someone can do a lot of harm to themselves and others in 10 weeks. So if the Alberta government wanted to invest money wisely, instead of putting it all into our jails and making more treatment jails, they should look at programs like Oskaya at Frog Lake or at the Recovery Centre in Fort McMurray or Bonnyville, those kind of places. And I can tell you just on today, for this young man, it was a life-changing opportunity for him, and I feel pretty optimistic for his future. Anyways, thanks for those who support me and follow me, and I'm easy to reach out. So if you have a brother or a sister or a son or a father or a daughter or a mother or a cousin or somebody in conflict with the system, whether it be the education system, the welfare system, the child welfare system, the immigration system, the healthcare system, I'm always available. A free service, and I think I'm pretty good at my job. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, bye everybody.